So, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. People joining from different part of the world. This is a very warm welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As you all know, this session is all about the CIA Certified Employed course, the CIA journey. And I am very, very delighted to let you know that the global professional certifications are coming up with this course. So let me just quickly set out the agendas for today's conversation. People, the way we are going to start up with, we in this orientation program, while we have scheduled it for 2 hours, but trust me, this will be much lesser. That's on the higher side. But let's look at it in terms of what we are going to do. Uh, in the next 1.5 hour of whatever time we'll spend together, we will be just covering the mentioned items. I'll share you a quick introduction about myself, and then we'll take a quick overview about the CIA course. Within that, we will understand what are the steps to be a CIA, what are the benefits of being IA member, and what is the cost for this kind of a program in terms of the IIA cost from a exam standpoint of view. What is the cost that has to be incurred? What is the registration process with IIA? What is the content of the CIA as a topic? Like how many part exam is it? What is that we study? Does it really value add me? What is the exam pattern? So we'll talk everything about in terms of the overview of the course. Everyone, we are going to talk about the risk galaxy, which is very, very important to understand what are the various services we as professionals can engage after being in part of the program, or we can probably utilize if we are already working, how we can probably doing such kind of a certifications, how it gives us entry points to maybe multiple service lines. So we're going to talk about that. Uh, then what is the right study material for this program? Also, if we plan to enroll for the sessions, what is the approach that Global Professional Certifications is going to follow? In fact, we'll also talk about, as you all would know, that there are new global employment standards that have got published. So, what are these new global audit standards? How is it different from the existing ones? What are the dates, and how does that impact on the CIE certification preparation? And of course, after that, if you have any Q&A, I'll keep the house open. So feel free to ask any question that you have. So before I get it there, are we clear in terms of the agenda for today's 1 hour of session? I would request as much as participation as possible for the next 1 hour, maybe lesser than that, people. But I would request your undivided attention for this call. So can I request everyone to please put yes on the chat box, and please type good to go. Can I see good to go, please, on the chat box, everyone? I know this is a Saturday morning, people joining from different part of the world. Probably this would be different hours for you all, but I really appreciate, but since you're all there already, I would sincerely request that are we good to go? Can I quickly see good to go? All right, lovely people. So let me just quickly start with the first piece on the introduction. So people who don't know me, I am Arpat Garg. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a certified employer. I'm a certified risk management insurance professional, and I'm also a certified information system auditor. I am a co-founding partner at Rissman, and also out of passion, I have been teaching CIA profession for last almost 3.5 years. I am the one of the key faculty for IIA. IIA India. I conduct CIA challenge sessions for IIA Bombay. I'm the faculty for IIA India for NADFM, which is National Academy of Defense Financial Management, to take sessions on CIA. And almost 3.5 years I've been taking the session. I was an ex-faculty for VGLD, Vinod Gupta Learning Destination, and just recently we have launched global professional certifications. So it's been a good journey. It's been 3.5 years of uh, non-stop journey, wherein for the last 3.5 plus years, I've been taking session on CIA almost all weekends, and have would have taught over 1,000 students on this program, and it has been a successful result, which keeps us going. So pretty much that when it comes to everyone, when it comes to my introduction, while I teach on the weekends, but mostly I am engaged on running up a risk consulting firm, Riskman, so wherein we do everything in and out from a risk assurance advisory standpoint of view, right from internal audits to engaging with the CP. engaging with the CPA firms to get SOC certification for some of our US customers, getting ISO 27001 certifications done, TSAC certification done, performing ITDC audits, ITAC audits, designing SOPs, performing concurrent reviews, TPRM, ERM, data analytics, almost everything that we can talk about in risk assurance advisory, we cover everything. And that's where the practical exposure comes a lot of in. And honestly, I'm more like an industry guy, which learns on a daily basis and probably pass on that on the weekend, so that every one of us can be a better professional. So basically, that's the insight in terms of what we do at Riskman about me, and how does we embed our learnings in the course also, which makes the course more interesting and, of course, helps every other person who join in to get a better exposure. So, but coming back to it, so that's a very brief introduction about me. I am sure you would have done a basic research before enrolling for this orientation program. So, everyone, let me reiterate, this is CIA Certified Employer Program. This is the flagship program of IIA. So, Institute of Employers. This is the most important and a flagship program, and the only globally recognized program for the internal audit domain. Why is it important? Everyone, I think all of us come from different diverse backgrounds, and Institute of Employers uh, has a thought that why not everyone understands similar methodologies? Why don't people follow the right practices, right? And that's where this kind of a program actually helps to fundamentally get clear in terms of what are the global employment standards, what are the right ways of working, and what are the best practices that everyone can implement. So this course is end to end of whatever could be in terms of being into internal audit or risk assurance advisory domain. And I'll cover that in terms of when we will talk about the content of the course. But for now, just take it from a note that it is one of the flagship program and significantly critically recognized um, uh, in various parts of the world. So I mean, it's a global course, so of course it's accordingly recognized. If I have to put it this way, people, why become certified? So if you look at it, of course, there are other courses like CFE, which is Certified Fraud Examiner. There's a course called CISA, which is Certified Information System Auditor. There's a course called CRM, Certified Risk Management Assurance Professional, and then so on and so forth. Right. So there are so many courses. So why CIA? And then we have CPA, right? Certified Public Accountant. We have Indian Chartered Accountant. So there's so much on the in terms of the course certification that we're talking about. So why do we do CIA? And this is a one popular question that I keep getting. People, why CIA? One thing, it covers almost various facets. So when we talk about CFE, it is more dominant in terms of how do we do fraud examinations, right? So it is more a specific subject on terms of fraud examination. When it comes to CISA, it's more focused on the IT governance, information security related aspects. But when it comes to CIA, Certified Employer, it covers almost all the facets of it. So it
Good
starts with,
morning, sir.
yeah, that's good morning. Thank you so much. I would request people to please keep yourself on mute. Let me just quickly cover and then we'll pick it things up. All right. So coming back on it, I will circle back to the thoughts that okay. So we were talking about CIA, yes. So why CIA? So CIA, everyone is all about almost all the phases. So it starts with understanding from the global audit standards, which is the foundation of employing, to getting into practice of employing, how we do internal audits, and then wrapping it up with business acumen and things on the IT, cybersecurity, data analytics, data privacy, Internet of Things related aspects. So it covers almost all the facets of what we do. So this is where it adds much more value. And to be very honest, it's comparatively a tougher course as compared to the other certifications. And I'll touch base upon that also as we move forward. Uh, the and this is not what I'm saying. The facts are on on the slides, which says that 94% of the people, especially internal leaders across the world, believe that CIA is better as compared to CPA, CA, CISA, CFE, only from employment context standpoint. So don't interpret it wrong that okay, like CIA is above everything. From the internal audit domain standpoint of view, CIA is considered more valuable as compared to other certification because of the kind of facets of the knowledge it brings, right? So this is where we talk about it. Of course, from a global standpoint of view, if you open any any global market website wherein you want to apply for a job or you want to look for something, you will see the minimum mandate is to be CIA. So that's another important critical thing why it is important. So I think this is important. People who come from different background like chartered accountancy or maybe ACC or CPA, a lot of time we think that okay, why do we need this? So just to let you know, folks, for the way I'm looking at in terms of the trends changes that are happening in the market, we already have so many people who have cleared CIA. Earlier, 4, 5 years back, what happened? What was there? There were very limited people who were CIAs, right? So there was a very limited pushback that was coming that, okay, one from my team has to be a CIA. But after CIA challenge exam coming in, which is a one-shot exam for people to clear, and the part-wise exam, which is, of course, a journey for each part to clear, lot of people have now become CIAs in India. And seeing that kind of a trend, the way we are forecasting is the next couple of years down the line, 4, 5 years down the line, there will be a lot of people wherein the entry requirement in India, if you're specifically focusing on people joining from Indian market, you will see a lot of trend and a lot of push coming from the senior leaders that our teams should be CIAs, and just for the matter of the fact that it brings a lot of strong foundation to your knowledge. So I think this is my perception towards this course and the way I'm closely observing this, and this is for you to consider maybe. All right, so this is why we become certified. I'll move on to now what are the steps to be CIA and what are the kind of exam fee included in this. So people, if we have a simple bachelor degree or a master degree or a CA degree or a CS degree, anything for that matter, we can enroll for this course. So there is no as such entry requirement except that you have to be minimum a bachelor. Bachelor, when I say any BCom graduation, any BBA graduation or BSc graduation, anything would work. Then once you apply for this course, everyone that's the minimum requirement. So however, there is also certain exit requirements. So to get a certificate, you have to have a minimum experience of 2 years in case you are just a bachelor, just a BCom graduate. And let's say if you are a master's, you have done your master's, then you need a minimum 1 year of experience. This 1 year and 2 years of experience is uh, uh, till the it's an exit requirement. So you can always clear all your parts. And let's say if you've just started your journey and if you're lesser experienced, then once you complete your 1 year of your experience, then you have to submit your experience proof, and then once it gets approved, you will get your certificate. But this is an exit requirement. This is not an entry requirement. I'll repeat that, folks. This is not an entry requirement to have a minimum number of years of experience. This is an exit requirement. All right. So people, I would request you all to please take a note on any questions if you have, requesting you everyone to please keep yourself in mute. Please take that as a protocol, and of course we'll discuss anything that you have. But let me just quickly cover everything, and then please take a note of any questions that you have, and of course we'll cover at length any questions that you'll have. But I'm sure once you hear me, I don't think so. There should be not much of questions there, but if still there are, I will be happy to take it. So I'll repeat once again. So everyone, entry requirement, a BCom graduation or a bachelor degree is good to go to start this course. If you are a master's, then 1 year of experience, a minimum 1 year of experience. And if you are just a bachelor, you have a bachelor degree, minimum 2 years of experience is required, but that is an exit requirement and not an entry requirement. Um, how does it work? You have to get it approved from either any CIA or any other supervisor. So if you have your supervisor in your office, you can just trigger an email to that person, and that person can verify for you that yes, this person have this much of experience, and that should be good to go. So I think the steps are: the first step, apply eligibility. I've talked about it, everyone. You have to create your profile on the CCMS, which is Certificate Candidate Management System, which only you get after you have got your IA membership. And once you have your CCMS IDs, you will have to create your profile. You will have to update your education proof. You will have to update your identity proof and related documents. And once you do that, you will have to apply for the CIA course. People, once you have applied for the CIA course, you will have 3 years to complete it. I'll repeat that. Can you all please put it on the chat box? Once you have submitted your CIA application fee, you have applied for the course, what is the What is the tenure in which you have to complete your CIE certification? Can I see it on the chat box, everyone? It is 3 years. So 3 years is the hard stop. So if and this doesn't go with the IA membership. Let me be very clear, people. This doesn't go with the IA membership. So you can always be an IA member, but and don't even do any course. That's also completely fine. There are benefits of being IA member and doing the course, because that helps the course fee to be significantly discounted, and I'll talk about it what is the level of savings in the next slide probably. But at this point of time, IA member, you can take any. There are a lot of benefits of being IA members. So you can apply for your IA membership, but as soon as you pay for your CIA application fee, you will have to complete this course in the overall 3 years period. All right. So this is about it. And now, everyone, once you have enrolled for this course, application fee paid, 3 years, you will have to complete this course. Now what happens is this is a part-wise exam. So I'm going to talk about part-wise exam first, and I'll take up the CIA challenge exam later to brief up in some little later. But for now, a part-wise exam, people, there are three parts: part one, part two, part three. All these three part-wise exams doesn't have to follow any ascending or descending order. So what does it mean? It doesn't mean that you have to clear your part one first, then part two, then part three in series. If you're ready for your part two, you can go for your part two exam. If you're ready for your part three, you can go for your part three exam. If you're ready for your part one, you can go for part one exam. Irrespective of which part you want to give first, you all can go with your comfort. And the exam is not structured that you have to clear your part one, then only you can go for part two or part three. So as soon as you pay your application fee, 3 years to complete, once you have paid your application fee, now you're eligible for appearing for a part. And for each of the part, you will have to pay an additional examination fee. So people, now once you pay the additional examination fee, now you also get another 180 days for your registration for exam. So I'll give you an example. Let's take an example. You have enrolled for your IA membership today. You have got your membership in the next 1 week. And once you have got your membership, you have created your profile and identity, and that gets approved in the next 2, 3 days. Once that is done, you have paid your application fee. Now, from that date, let's say from let's take an example, from 5th of January, you have paid your application fee. So 5th of January 25 to 5th of January 28 is your valid period. You can appear for your CIE exam by then. 5th of January 2028, you have to clear this exam. So let's say if you have done two papers, two parts, and you have not done one part, after 5th January 2028, you will not get an option as such to extend it further. So you will have to complete the whole program in 3 years. That's the maximum timeline that the IIA has given. But let's take an example that, okay, on 5th of January, I've applied for the application fee, but I've not paid for my part-wise exam. So that's also okay. As I said, within 3 years, you have to appear for this parts and clear it. But let's take an example. You have now on the same date, 5th of January, as soon as you have got your application, you have paid your application fee, you have again paid for your part one exam fee, because you are planning to appear on, let's say, first week of Feb. So if you're planning to appear on first week of Feb, you can pay your fee, and then you don't have to as such take date then and there. So once you have paid the fee, you have 6 months to appear. Once you have paid your part one examination fee or part two examination fee or part three examination fee, you have 6 months to register for the exam. But 6 months is again a hard stop. Within 6 months, you have to appear for the exam. So are we clear, people? What is the total period within which the course has to be completed, and that goes with IA membership start date, or that goes with CIA application start date? Can I see it on the chat box, people? People, everyone who have got clarity on the concept. Everyone who have got clarity in terms of the CIA program. Can I see it on the chat box? Is it from CIA application fee, or is it from the IA membership fee? It is from the CIA application fee. And after you have paid for your exam fee, how much time do you get to appear for the exam? So you will have to appear for the exam within 6 months of time. All right, fundamentally clear? Very good. So now that's where the test related aspects come in. People, what is this course about? So this is a completely MCQ based course, 100% MCQ based course. We have three parts. The first part is for 2.5 hours, and it has 150 questions. It has 125 MCQs, which is for a 150 minutes exam, which is about a 2.5 hours. And then we have part two and part three, which is a 100 MCQ question, which we need to complete in 2 hours of time. So part one, 2.5 hours, part two and part three, 2 hours exam. You get the result then and there. So you will, as soon as you submit, you will get the result then and there. But in order to clear this exam, you have to score above 80%. And this is where it gets tricky. This is where it gets very, very difficult, because to score above 80%, you have to have a very, 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 very good knowledge of the concepts that you're learning. All right. And it doesn't show you the results in terms of where did you got wrong. So you will only get your exam score. In case you have passed, you get a pass. You don't even get how much exact score you've got to pass this exam. So if you get a pass, you get a pass. If you fail, in that case, you will get a score and the improvement areas. But which questions did you appeared incorrect? You will not get access to it. And every time the questions comes is different. So it's not, and in fact, not just that. Let's say 15 of you goes on the same day at the same center in Gurgaon to appear for the exam. For all of you, the exam question would be different. It's not that the same questions will come for all of you. Are we getting the concept, people here? How is CIE exam structured? This is a three-part exam. Uh, Part one, 2.5 hours exam. Part two and part three, this is about 2 hours exam. How much to clear this exam? How much do we need to clear this exam? This is above. What is the percentage we need to clear to get clear this exam? This is above 80% to clear this exam, right? And there's no negative marking, everyone. In India, you will have to go at the nearest Pearson View Center to appear for this exam. You cannot appear for this exam from home. You will have to go to the Pearson View Center. There are multiple Pearson View Center. In Gurgaon, we have one. In Noida, we have one. In Mumbai, we have one. In Chennai, we have one. So, like most of the cities, we have various Pearson View Center wherein you can go and appear for this exam. Abroad, there are different. Mostly it's Pearson View Center, but some countries may have access to work appear from home via proctor-based exam also. But that needs to be explored country to country. All right, so I think we are clear in terms of what is this course structure, what is the eligibility requirement, what are the minimum exit requirements, how much time do we need to we have maximum to clear the exam, and what is the test pattern. People after doing this also, once we know, yes, we have cleared the part, we have the necessary experience, we have got the certificate, we need to maintain the certificate also. So just like any other professional course, we will have to keep educating ourselves. We will have to keep working on our professional development, and that's where the CIE certification requires every CIE certification holder to complete 40 hours of mandatory trainings, including 2 hours of ethics training on an annual basis. So, in order to maintain our certification, we will have to do 40 CP hours every year, and this necessarily doesn't have to be a paid CP hours. There are so many programs that IA conducts which are free of cost, which you can enroll for. And then, of course, and there are 2 hours of ethics training, which is also a lot of time free of cost. Mostly every year it happens in terms of free of cost also. So you can always register for those courses, training programs, and you can complete your CPRs and keep up learning, keep upskilling also. And this CPR's requirement, you have to do it by 31st of December every year. So this is what the CP norm says. Now let's talk about why do we become IA member, and what if I don't become an IA member? People, if you look at the slide in front of you, uh, a non-member application fee for the course is significantly high. So if you see, almost $772 is what we save by being an IA member and pursue this course. If you look at it for a non-member, the fee is $240. For part one, part two, part three, the fee is 445, 415, $415. But for India, if you're and in India, you can be for any chapter, be it a Bangalore chapter to a Delhi chapter to again a Chennai or a Kolkata or a Hyderabad chapter. You can be part of any chapter. The pricing goes like this. When you're paying for your application fee, you pay $90 upfront. And this is where your 3 years period gets started. And then for each part that you appear, you pay this amount, $230, $232.50, $210, $210 for each of this part. And once you pay this fee of $232, you have to appear for your exam within 6 months of time. People for other global members, the fee is still on a higher side. So if you see our India fee versus our global member fee, let's say if you're a IA Malaysia chapter or you're a IA Indonesia chapter or some other chapters, generally the global membership fee is on a higher side. Or let's say any chapter others, the chapter fee goes significant is slightly on a higher side as compared to India price. So that's the one of the key reason. If you're pursuing this course, it's always good to be an IA member. And not just about the course, IA membership brings a lot of value add because it adds you to a larger community of IIA. It keeps on doing so many sessions which are from a awareness, knowledge, upskill standpoint of view. It's always good to do it. So yeah, so this is about being benefits of IA members. So let's now get into the registration process with IIA. People, the first step for doing this course would be for you to take IA membership. This is simply and easily available on our IA India website. So if you are a new member for the first time, you will have to apply for the value called 4500 plus GST. 4500 plus GST is your basic price. There's also an entrance cost, which is 2000, and that's why the price is 6500 plus GST for the first year. And then you get into annual renewal, which is where you will cost it will cost you 4000 plus GST every year. And again, as I said, this is for your renewal of CIA certification course, because for a member it costs less as compared to a non-member. Plus, at the same time, IA membership is not it should not be seen only from a cost standpoint of view. There's so many benefits of being an IA member. As I said, terms of community, so many training sessions, so much of knowledge content in terms of IA magazine, so many additional features in terms of association for travel. A lot of things comes with IA membership. So I think I'll leave it to on IA to talk more about how what are the benefits of IA member. But what I'm trying to say is there's a lot more benefit, just not the course alone. So people, as soon as you, the step one is when you apply for your IA India membership, you will get a global membership ID. So you don't get an IA India ID, you get a global ID, which is generated from the IA Global. So generally it takes 1 to 2 weeks of time to get a IA Global ID. And once that is done, you create your profile in your CCMS account. So you will get a certificate candidate management system link wherein you have to click and you have to just update your profile, your name, your address, your identity proof, and you will have to put your education proof. Preferable would be a passport or Aadhaar card. Things like that should be okay for updating on your CCMS account. And once your this profile gets approved, now you can register for the course and exam. So this is where you will pay for when once your profile and everything is clear. Now you will get an option apply for CIA. So once you apply for CIA, you will pay $90. And then once you paid that, you can enroll immediately after that. You can enroll for any of the part. So if let's say you want to go for your part one, then you pay addition $232. And now within 6 months of your payment, you can explore the dates. You can see, okay, what are the dates available at the nearest Pearson View Center, and then accordingly, based on your comfort, you can take the dates. So this is how it is structured. So yeah, so this is how you will assess Pearson View tab in your CCMS and select the date of your requested exam center. I hope you're clear in terms of what is the step-by-step process for enrolling from the course standpoint of view, from a IIA standpoint of view. Is that clear, people? Can I see the word clear, not clear on the chat box, please? Everyone, is the word clear, not clear on the chat box, please? All right, everyone, can I request you all to please say clear, not clear on the chat box, please, so far? All right, great. So I can see only three people responding, four now, five. Can I see more clear, not clear on the chat box? Pooja, Ranchana, I think Radhika, are you with us? Taivo, Tuna, Sumit, are you all clear? Yes, Shubham? Yes, all right, great. So I think we are now clear with the registration process as well. Now let's me talk about in terms of the content, because it's very important today. Why do I really learn this, right? So how does it really add value to my life? So people, let's look at it. See, as I said, the course content is very, very comprehensive. It starts with the first part, which is essentials of internal auditing, wherein we have 8 chapters, and and which is spread across 6 sections. So we have the first one, which is foundation of internal auditing. This is where we start with the basic IPPF framework. IPPF is People International Professional Practice Framework. You can think it that, okay, these are the global audit standards. So we start with understanding what is the foundation of internal auditing, what is IPPF, what is internal audit, what are its principles, what is code of ethics, what is employee charter. So things like that is what we understand. And then we move on to the next topic, which is where we understand the difference between independence and objectivity. Now, I can tell you a lot of people, if you really look inside and think about these concepts, some of these words look very common to you all, will look very common to you all, like, okay, independence and objectivity, these are very simple. Independence means being independent, objective means being objective. I mean, half of us will speak like that, right? Independence means being independent, objective means being objective. But what does independence mean? I mean, does independent means that, okay, we should have access to the board, or does independence means I should be reporting to the CFO? Does objectivity means, okay, I should accept the gifts, or does accepting gifts means I should be independent? So now probably we are getting confused, right? Accepting gift is what? An independence issue or an objectivity issue? If I'm not getting access to my data, if I've requested during the audit, this is what? An independence issue or an objectivity issue? Or let's say if under influence have removed an audit finding, right? What is it? Is it an independence issue or is it an objectivity issue? Now, this fundamentals, people, what I'm trying to talk about is this fundamentals itself is something that most of the professionals lack. So this is where the CIA course helps you to upskill and understand what is exactly the independence issue, what are the objectivity issues, what exactly is the our core principles, what are exactly we want to do, what are we trying to do, what is our purpose statement, what is our mission. So everything in terms of fundamentally gets cleared in the right first section one and section two, and then it further gets increased to next topics wherein it says that okay, to be an internal auditor, what type of skill set you should be having. So what should be your competency? Then what sort of due professional care you need to carry when you're doing audits, right? What is a QAIP program? So I'm fully sure that most of you who probably have never heard about CIA would not know what is QAIP unless in your organization you have something like a QAR process or something like that. So what is how do I maintain quality of my department? And then what and the key concept, people, and this is where we live with, right? We talk about governance, keep talking about risk management, and we keep talking about control. But if someone asks me what is risk management, I'm telling you again, a lot of us will say risk management. Risk management means managing the risk. Risk management means I'll mitigate the risk. Risk management means I'll put a control is a risk management. So putting up a control is risk management. Half of us believe that this is what is risk management. And this is where the problem statement lies. Because people today, we don't know the concept. Risk management, and just to enlighten you people, just a key value add for you all. Risk management is not just putting up a control. Risk management is not just mitigating the risk. Risk management is not managing the risk. Risk management is a complete process where we identify the context first. That okay, which area do I look at from a risk management standpoint of view, whether I want to look at P2P level, O2C level, R2R level, entity level risk. What is the exact area? A system risk, ERP risk, SAP HANA risk, whatever it is. So I'm going to look at the context first. I'm going to identify the context first. Then I'll identify the risk for that. Then I'll assess the risk in terms of impact and likelihood and prioritize it, which is where we call it risk ranking, risk modeling, heat map, like concept we understand. And then once we have identified the risk, we will and prioritize the risk, we will put the risk response. I can just accept the risk also, people. I can just accept the risk. This itself is a risk response. All right. So accepting the risk is one of the risk response. I can transfer the risk. I can share the risk. I want to take more risk. I can pursue the risk. I can put a control. So when you all said or you all thought for that, okay, risk management is just putting up the putting up a control. This is not just risk management. That is one of the risk response we are talking about. And once these risk responses are enabled, we start monitoring it. So today, did you learn one thing at least? Today, did you learn with this session in the morning? Did you learn one thing at least? People, what is risk management? If tomorrow someone asks you risk management, what is risk management? Are you going to say risk management is putting up a risk response, putting up a control, mitigating risk? Or you will say risk management is a complete process to identify the context, identify the risk, assess the risk, then prioritize it, then you will put up the risk response, and then you will monitor. Is that clear, everyone? Yes. Can I see the word clear? Not clear. Can I see the word clear? Not clear on the chat box, please? Everyone, can you please put it on the chat box? Everyone clear? Not clear? All right, lovely. So this is where the concepts get clear, and that's something that excites me. That okay, this kind of a course actually help us to get our fundamentals so strong that if someone asks us, we are thoroughly clear about the concept. Like today, if someone asks you what is governance, I'm telling you, half of us will not be able to tell what is exactly governance. I mean, we hear this word day in day out, but if someone asks us what is governance, we'll not be able to describe it. What is governance? To be very honest, I mean, just think through. Just think through. Does it come to your mind what is governance? And I'm telling you, how many on okay, just out of curiosity, how many of you agree with me that when you're thinking through on your mind what is governance? Can you describe something in governance? I mean, clearly outline, or this would be do you all have a clear understanding of what is governance? Can I see yes, no on the chat box, please? Can I see yes, no on the chat box, please, people? What is governance? We hear this word, everyone. Governance every day, day in out. Do you all agree with me? Day in, day out, you hear this word called governance. Maybe you're lot of your part of GRC practice, GRC teams, right, in your organization, right? But then what is governance, right? So all I'm trying to say, and I'm making a point here, is this is where the beauty of this course is. This gives you a complete clarity of the concept. And then people, the last section is all about fraud risk. So this is where the fraud related aspect, what are the different fraud scheme, what is skimming, what is cash larceny, what is asset misappropriation, what are payment frauds, what are diversion frauds, what are tax evasion fraud, what is bribery, corruption, a lot of stuff in terms of the fraud risk, fraud schemes are talked about, forensic is talked about, various fraud controls are talked about within part one. So part one is, as I said, is all about essentials and foundation of accounting, where you talk about the standards, code of ethics, you talk about independence, objectivity, proficiency, due professional care, QAIP, internal charter, the entire concept of GRC. Not just that, everything on the ERM, enterprise risk management, COSO ERM, ISO 31000, everything gets covered under the part one here. And then under the control, everything in terms of the different types of control, be it preventive, detective, directive, corrective, compensatory, complementary, feedback, feed forward. So there are so many types of controls, manual, automated, which control to apply when, ITGC, IT application controls, everything gets covered under the topic. So this gives you a strong base to understand almost everything that we do. Now, the part two is people where we learn to exactly do what we do audit. So right from what are the types of assignments that we can do in terms of assurance and advisory? Two, the next step is how do we manage our audit and internal audit function by having the right policies, procedures, methodologies, to preparing a risk-based employment plan, to going into engagement planning, gathering information, to performing analysis, performing sampling, communicating results, doing follow-up, everything in terms of what we do practically. How does the standards want you to do it? What are the things that the standard want to consider it? Everything gets covered in the part two. So part one, basic fundamentals to understand, because a lot of us don't understand. To be honest, okay, let me put it on the chat box. How many of us understand financial assertions? How many of us understand financial assertions here? People, can you please put it on the chat box? Do you understand financial assertions? Yes or no, or need clarity? Assertions need clarity, do not need clarity. Can I see yes, need clarity, do not need clarity on the chat box, please? Everyone, I would request sincere participation. This is the morning time that you have all spent with me. This is more like an icebreaker that I'm talking about. But do you all agree with me? Do you need some clarity on financial assertions like topic? What are the different engagement procedures that we can apply, audit procedures we can apply? Do you all agree with me? In which scenarios do we apply vouching? In which scenarios do we do tracing? Like concept, what is the difference between vouching and tracing? Things like that. I'm telling you, once you have a knowledge on this, the kind of a confidence that you will have on the subject, I can't commit you more, but trust me, you will definitely going to get a lot of confidence after getting the complete conceptual clarity. And that's where this course actually excites me, because honestly, 4 years back when I've not done this course, I was still thinking that I'm doing decently well, adding a lot of value to the client. But after this course, what I have pursued, I've always encouraged to the people to join and complete this course, because this gives us so much of conceptual clarity and thought process that our conversation tone, our writing tone on the topics goes significantly different, and we have the complete conceptual clarity of what we are writing. Otherwise, we are just doing the job. We are just doing the job. But this kind of a course, we have never studied the fundamentals. We have just cleared our CA, or we have just cleared our BCom and then moved into this course and moved into the practical world, started our job and started doing it. But we have never understood from the basic what is the expectation of the global audit standard, and that's where the CIA like course really get um, benchmark that or elevate and reduce the gap of that bridge. So part two, as I said, see people, part one is all about this, part two is all about practice of learning what exactly we do, and part three is all about business knowledge for auditing. So this is where we talk about business acumen, like things like management theories, leadership behavior, project management, contract management, what are the key things that should be there in the contract. Everything gets covered under the business acumen, and then everything in terms of the IT piece. So right from your IT infrastructure to information security controls to cybersecurity to data privacy, everything gets covered under the section 2 and section 3. And in fact, we have a touch points on the financial management and managerial accounting concepts. So basic fundamentals of what is, let's say, what is net present value, what is just in time as a concept, what is volume profit analysis, what are the different ratio analysis, what is regression, things like that, which is very important to understand when we do things practically, is sort of part of the course. So are we clear today, people? Today we have got the clarity. What does part what is the content of the course? Do you all find it comprehensive enough? Do you all, after seeing the course, are you getting the comfort that this is comprehensive, not comprehensive? Can I see the word comprehensive, not comprehensive on the chat box, please? Do you think it is comprehensive, not comprehensive? Once again, everyone, this is a comprehensive course, people. Let me assure you, this is very, very comprehensive and will give you a lot of thought clarity. Now, since we know what are we going to learn, let me talk about people. So I think we have covered. So part one is 125 MCQs, 2.5 hours exam. Part two and part three, 100 MCQs, 120 minutes exam, 2 hours exam. There's no break in the exam. So if you choose to take a break, you can always take a break, but that will be counted in your exam time. All right. So that's about the examination pattern. As I said, MCQs, no negative marking, but you have to score above 80% to clear the exam. Now, this is one slide that I really like the most. And this is where I want to share you all that the kind of services, a lot of people, and this is where I must say that people, you all need to think through that why this domain is very important. In fact, if you see out and out of passion and out of a lot of excitement, I would like to share that the reason we ventured Riskman also for was only for the purpose that there's so much of opportunities out in the market in the risk assurance and advisory space. I mean, despite we don't do traditionally of what other chartered accountant firms or any other firms does, we are always occupied with so much of stuff that happens in the risk assurance advisory. In fact, if you look at today's and the recent service that has happened, everyone, today the percentage of assurance versus advisory projects that we do and in the entire APAC region is almost 50% of assurance and 50% of advisory. So there's so much to do in this domain, and this is where this slide excites me the most, everyone. So when it comes to the type of projects that we can do, of course, you all agree we do internal audit projects, we do SOX engagements, we design IFCs for the organization, we test them, we do due diligence reviews, we do forensics and fraud investigation reviews, we do concurrent audits like a pre-audit, post-audit, prepayment, post-payment, so many things like in terms of concurrent audits that we do, all of that we can do. People, there's so much of unique solutions these days. Like earlier, we used to only talk about internal audit, but today we have separate ERM teams, we have separate TPRM teams. We have so much of focus on your entity-wide risk, which is more on the strategy, external risk, on those aspects, right? And key risk from internal standpoint of view, all of that gets you get an understanding on it. Today, if someone asks you how do you develop your ERM framework, anyone has any idea on what is COSO ERM? What are the components of COSO? How many principles are in? Do you need clarity? Not clarity. People, can I see it on the chat box? Need clarity? Do not need clarity. Need clarity, do not need clarity. COSO ERM people. I'm not talking about what is the difference between COSO ERM and COSO internal control framework. Need clarity, do not need clarity. People, can I see on the chat box? Need clarity, do not need clarity. Everything, right? And this is where we live and live every day, right? We live every day. We talk about COSO internal control framework. We talk about ERM frameworks, right? So ERM as a concept. TPRM, third party risk management. What is SOC? How many of us know what is SOC? How many of us know what is SOC or hearing for the first time? Hearing for the first time, SOC people. First time or heard this word, SOC. Service Organization Controls. I'm talking about Service Organization Controls and not SOX, which is Sarbanes-Oxley. How many of us know SOC, Service Organization Controls, from a TPRM runner? Priya is saying yes, she have heard, but wonderful. But are you getting the kind of exposure? So we're talking about SOC, we're talking about IT risk management. As I said, in the entire part three has a lot of facets of IT risk, be it IT, GC, ITAC. Okay, let me ask you, how many know the difference between ITGC controls and application controls? I'm telling you, people, so many of us will not be able to answer so much of fundamental questions because we have never been taught to. And that's where this kind of a course will give complete clarity to distinguish between ITGC control and application control. Today, we don't know the difference between what is ITGC versus what is application control. And courses like this really help. So as I said, you can get into ERM, you can get into TPRM, you can get into IT risk management, you can get into CSA, which is control self-assessment, you can get into a whole GRC landscape, anti-bribery, anti-corruption, anti-money laundering, credit risk. There's so much of ISO certification, people, which you will be able to better understand because now you know the controls, right? You know what are the risks, what is the threat landscape, all of it. Cyber security, digitization. There's so much in terms of solution where you can get and explore. Not just that, people, understanding compliances, right? Right from your GDPR, which is your General Data Protection Regulation, to your California Consumer Privacy Act, to your concepts and buzzwords like ESG, which is environment, social governance, things like that, tax, labor laws. Then, or not just this, you can also got into consulting or advisory side, wherein you can help organization develop SOPs, automate business excellence, can do re-engineering. I mean, there is so much to do what I'm trying to talk about again and again, and this slide specifically talks too much that okay, the sky is the limit. It's actually the galaxy of services that we can do. And even if we do all of it, I'm telling you, the next 10 years, 20 years, we are not going anywhere. Our domain is only getting more work. It's unlike other domains wherein it's a standard way of working, just one thing to be done all the time. But if you really think through and if you really partner up, there is so much to be done, so much to be learned. There's so much of opportunity in this, and I'm telling you, it is actually a galaxy wherein we can really embark our careers. So this is exciting. This really gives me a kick, and this really gives me exciting to take this forward. So I hope you're now getting complete clarity in terms of the kind of services that we do. Do you excited, not excited after looking at galaxy of the services, people? Can I see the word excited, not excited? Or eye opener, not eye opener? People, can I see eye opener, excited, words like excited, eye opener on the chat box, please, everyone. All right, lovely. So I think this is getting interesting, people. So now we know the course structure, we know the eligibilities, we know the content, what is in the course, what I'm going to learn, how is it going to help across different service lines. I'll move forward, people. Now let's talk about what is the now how, okay, now probably I made my mind that okay, I want to do this, and this is getting me excited, and I think it's the right time for me because we as professionals can only do better. We are not products, right? So we are people who give services. So when we give service, if we have a complete knowledge and the right skill set, I think we can always be valued better, right? So and as I said, the landscape is changing. So if you don't do it, there's so many people who are doing it, right? And if they get better, then probably they are the first choices to get a better opportunity. So it's all on us because we all are in a competitive world. And how I see it is the awareness is so much that there's so many people who have already done it. And next 5 years are going to be very different landscape in terms of pushing for these kind of a courses because that actually helps you to get the clarity. Today you don't have the clarity. You have to somewhere accept that I need clarity. And once you accept it, then only you will be able to improve. Otherwise, word is still moving. You will keep going. That's not a problem. You have to choose it. You want to keep going or you want to be good. You want to just keep going or you want to be good, people. You want to just keep going or you want to be good at what you do. You want to be more valued. People, what do you think? Good and valued or just keep going? Good and valued or keep going? Of course, everyone like to be valued, right? Everyone likes to be good, more valued, right? And how will it come, right? We are not products, right? We cannot just add a product to us and then we can go. We are professionals, everyone. The way we speak, the way we talk, the way we have the underlying knowledge, all of it is important. Today, I mean, I can agree that okay, 2 of 10 people probably are CIAs, or maybe lesser than that in your teams, maybe not even one person is CIA. But as this distinguishing happens, changes after 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line, the youngsters come in and pick this course more thoroughly. All of that, you will suddenly feel that okay, I have not done this. Okay, I am now a left out one. And once I start getting into left out, and you are probably pick up a age or something like you have other commitments coming up in your life, it will more be difficult to clear this kind of course. So, any which ways, I think this is completely your choice about doing, not doing, but I am here to spread about why I think this is critical and a lot of value add can bring it. But now coming it, so if you have made your mind that you want to go with the course, so let me talk about what is this, what does the course require. So of course, there's so many study banks in the on the online format. Like you can just Google it. CIA material, you can probably find different sources to get it. But the most preferred sources, and I'll be talking about it, the most preferred source is the GLIM material, everyone. So we have a GLIM material. So Global Professional Certification has a tri-party arrangement with being a authorized learning partner of IIA. We have a associationship with IIA and the GLIM, wherein we are authorized to provide our students and our members authorized GLIM material. So, and this is what is the most preferred content. So the GLIM content is there. So wherein we have the books, we have the GLIM software, and once this GLIM software access is taken, it stays valid for 18 months of time from the day the code is activated. So let's say if you have got your code and you have activated today, it will stay valid for the 18 months of time. And after that, that glimpse access gets removed. So once that access is removed, you will have to request for renewal, which will be an add-on cost. So we have to always target that in 18 months, everything should be done, right? And that's also much on a high side. I'll be talking about how are we planning and then think through about this course. But 18 months is the time period where you get the access to the GLIM content. People, you can practice questions, and there are 1,000+ questions on of the GLIM. So you can practice question unit wise, chapter wise, topic wise, mixed questions, random questions. All of that pattern is available. You can also see put up your screen in a same format the way exam will be conducted. So you have the timing going on. You can flag the question if you have a query, and you can take it forward. So everything is there. People, when it comes to the ways of working and the ways of style of understanding the topics from a global professional certification standpoint of view. So I'll of course run you through that how the session series would be conducted if you choose to join and pursue this course. But I will so there are PPT slides, there are presentations, just the way I have taken you throughout the journey. The whole slides will be there on the CIA program. Each unit we will have these slides, what is the topic that we are going to learn, everything around it, and we'll learn it via slides, and then we will go through the glim content. So there are summarized PPT slides, there is a concept building exercise that happens, and also all the sessions that we do will be recorded, and the record access to those recorded sessions will be there, and there will be a lot of additional MCQs beyond glim also. So some of us get face struggle that, okay, I have practiced glim, but I have no more exposure now, and I've practiced them questions 2 times, 3 times also. So what to do next? So people, we do a lot of MCQs practice in the class, which is beyond GLIM questions, right? It's not just limited to GLIM, it is beyond GLIM, and that's very very critical for from an examination standpoint of view and concept building standpoint of view. One more thing, very very important, people. A lot of us who have never done CIA, I want to just let you know, this course is not about the same question coming up in the exam. So a lot of us think that, okay, if I am done, Taiwo, I'll be covering on the challenge. Don't worry. I'll just talk about. Give me some more time. I'll talk about CI challenge exam as well. After this, so I'll come back on it. So everyone, a lot of us think that, okay, I have done 1000 MCQs of glim, I've done it 2 3 times, 4 times, so in the exam also same question will come and I'll appear and I'll clear the exam. So that doesn't work here in CIA. In CIA exam you will not get same questions as you have seen in the question banks. You will have to learn conceptually, people. You have to learn where you cannot, where are you making errors, what is the exact concept. And that's why I said the difference between independence and objectivity, the difference between, let's say, proficiency is seen at a individual level or it will be a collective level. My team should have a proficiency or I should have a proficiency. I mean, I'm not answering to all this today, but just think through on this thoughts that it's very very conceptual clarity concept, wherein we need to have to clear this exam. So it's don't think from a point of view that, okay, I'll buy a question bank from glim directly and I'll practice them and the same question will come in exams. Trust me, it's a waste of time, waste of money. Same question never ever appear in the exam. Are we clear on this? Does the same question appear in the exam or different question come? Is it same or different? Can I see it on the chat box, people? Same or different question come in the exam? Are you all still with me? Can I see everyone? Yes, on the chat box. Is everyone still with me? Are you all in line to what we are discussing so far? Can I see yes on the chat box, please? Everyone is with me. I can see 4 of you are participating out of 20 members now. Can I request everyone to please put yes on the chat box? Everyone is with me, yes? Islam, are you getting me? Barkha, Jamia, Shav, Namita, Nitin, Pooja, I think Ranjana, Raghunath, Sumit. Are you all with me? Yes or no, everyone? Vijay, Tuna. All right, great. So, as I said, so different MCQs are asked, and that's where the concept clarity brings in important. So as I said, people, recorded sessions, like just like the orientation program recording will also be available, same way recorded sessions for these sessions would be available. So every session gets recorded, it will be uploaded on the LMS, learning management system, for which access would be provided, and you can access to the recorded session in case you have missed the live session or you want to even revise it. Generally we prefer that people should at least take look of 2 times more session. So if you have attended a live session, generally it is recommended to do 2 revision via session, because it's always very difficult to hear properly for almost 3 hours of the session that happens, and don't miss on things, right? So it's always good to probably listen once more or twice more. In case you have a lesser years of experience, twice more. In case you have a good experience, then at least once more, so that the concept clarity stays in. So for that, recorded session is given, and as I said, there will be a lot of additional MCQs that will be given, and that will be all there on your LMS system as well for your practice. So I think we are clear now in terms of the content. I think there is a question on CIA challenge exam content, right? So people, if you choose on, see, the only difference between a part wise and a challenge exam is For challenge exam, one has to be either a CA or a ACCA or a CPA or a CISA, and likewise there are a few more different bodies. So if you are that, you can appear for this exam as a one-shot exam, wherein all the content, part one, part two, part three, all together you will have to study and you will have to appear in one go. Now, there are benefits and challenges of challenge exam. Benefit is that you can clear this in one go. Of course, you don't have to wait for part wise. But the challenge that I see it is just like the word challenge exam is. Uh, it has a lot of content, right? Part one, part two, part three ones you have to study together and then appear for the exam. But people who have again experience and who have lesser time, let's say you're already 15 years experience or 12 years experience or 20 years experience, or you're already heading the employment and you don't have time and bandwidth like that. So for you, challenge exam is absolutely correct. And that's what I said couple of minutes back, everyone. Couple of minutes back, I said, right, why this course is getting more critical? Because of the challenge exam, because a lot of employment heads are now doing challenge exam and clearing it. And once they clear it, it becomes more like a tone setting for the team that, okay, no, you should do this kind of a course. Because once they've done it, they feel it more valued. And then also it's once my leader has done it, leader will definitely push, right? If my leader has not done it, most likely the leader will never push. So because of the challenge exam coming in, I personally feel that there is a lot of pushback coming on the team nowadays, wherein the team also would be suggested, recommended by the leaders that, okay, you should do. Only if you have done the course, then only you will understand it, right, people? So don't expect someone who's not a leader. Generally, it gets very difficult to come from him or her that, okay, you should do it, because the person would not know the real value of it, right? So coming back on it, so on the challenge exam, the benefit is people on the challenge exam, there is a content that is given by IIA itself as part of your course fee. So generally for the challenge exam, there are different course fee for different types of qualification that you have. For example, a CA would have to pay a X dollar amount as compared to a CISA. So I think for CISA it is about a $1,300 plus amount that needs to be paid for a one-time exam. For CA it is roughly about I think $1,100, some thousand, near to $1,000 for a one time exam. And if so but with that you get the content, but all the fee that you paid earlier, like if you go back on the previous slide, people, in the part wise exam, here you don't get any content. This is only the examination fee, this is only the application fee. You don't get any content, people. This examination fees that you're paying, $90, $230, 210, $210, do you get any content with this? Yes or no, folks? Can I see yes or no? Do you get content? Do not get content. Get content? Do not get content. Can I see on the chat box? Do you get the content? Do not get content. So you don't get any content here. But when you go for challenge exam, if you are a CA or a CPA or a ACCA or a CISA qualified, then you can go with one shot exam. You will get the content and that content will be a IA content and not a GLIM content. All right. So, well, does that helps your question, Tuna? Does that? I think that was a question that was asked from Taiwo. Taiwo, is that question clear to you? Is that clear? Can I see clear, not clear on the chat box? Taiwo, is that question clear to you? I'll take a pause here. All right, I'm assuming that this question is cleared. I'll move forward, everyone, in the interest of time. So now we know the content, we know the study material that is required. People, our approach to this, our approach to the CIA session. Everyone, our approach to the CIA session is how we will start with a clear perspective on how we are going to learn. What are the key topics and anything? We'll do 100% coverage of the GLIM study material. So much of concept clarity that will come in, lot of new insights. Like today, if I'll talk about what is shared assessment, what is CIS, Center of Internet Security. If you have to audit a firewall, how will you do audit of firewall? So a lot of things you would be not knowing. So all of that in terms of wherever are the best practices will be shared to help you to understand things on a practical front as well. Then every session, every unit, there will be a things to remember section with the keywords, which is going to be a bullet points for you for your exam, something that you will really appreciate to me after you have cleared your exam, that okay, the slides were very very important. Then each session after we begin the new session, we'll do the revision of a previous session. Then we will also practice a lot of MCQs in the class, and then of course the house will be open just like we are doing participative session now. The entire session series goes in a participation mode. So this is our approach, people. I'll just run you through some of the slides that are generally used in the session so that you get a fair view in terms of how the content looks like. So people, whenever we start the slide, so just like it, the topics are like this. We have 8 chapters in the part one. What is the weightage for that 8 chapters? Then in unit one, what are we going to learn? So these are the things that we are going to learn, and then we what within each subunit, like applicable guidance IPPF, what are the topics that we are going to learn? So let's say, for example, applicable guidance IPPF, we are going to understand what is mission, what is IPPF contains, what is definition of implementing, what are core principles, standards, code of ethics. So all these are the things that we are going to learn. When we are going to talk about code of ethics, what is the primary purpose of code of ethics? To enhance the code of ethics value, what it should have. What are the components of code of ethics? So all of this is what we are going to understand. So first we'll understand what we're going to learn, within which what is important. So everything that is underlined is very, very important for the exam. People now some of you may say, sir, you have added almost everything there. But see, unit one alone weight 15% in the exam. So everything gets critical here in the unit one, and that's why it's underlined. A lot of units you will see, a lot of things will not be underlined also. So here, this is a very critical topic. 125 into 15%. Imagine roughly 20-25 questions would be asked alone on the unit one in the exam if you're appearing for part one. So that's why a lot of things gets covered. So everything underline what we are going to learn. Once we know what we are going to learn, then we cover with the slides our concept understanding. So we'll get through the slides, and then each slide will understand like this concepts, what are the standards, what are the attribute standard, performance standards. Then we'll, in fact, if you see most of the slides, things will be highlighted, what we need to remember. Then what are the important notes on the slides? What is the primary purpose? What it should contain? Who or to whom are these code of ethics applicable to? So everything which is underlined becomes more important. On the go, people, as soon as we start building up the concept, we'll do some questions also, right? So example, here will be an MCQ. You will be given an opportunity to answer whether you are answering, whether you're able to understand the concept. So that will be discussed on the go. Like there will be a couple of questions that will be asked and discussed. And then what is the concept? What are the various examples where integrity will get violated? Wherein what are the examples where objectivity will get violated? And all of that, right? So important notes will be through on the flow. And once we have done our understanding on these slides, this is where we will get into what? After this, we will take a quick understanding of even the GLIM content. So I'll just show you one, everyone. So if you'll see the GLIM content, so now in fact on the GLIM content, so books like this will be given to you. Now in the GLIM content, everything that is critical will be highlighted for you so that you know that okay, you're not missing on it. Ideally, the slides are in a way generally sufficient, but to get a better confidence, we will show you the GLIM content also so that you have a fair idea on what you're learning. In fact, the slide sometimes has more details than what is there on the GLIM. All right, but still we will go through the GLIM content to show you that okay, you have learned it. So it's almost a two revision that happen in the class, and that gives you one form of confidence. So just like this, whatever is critical will be covered in the GLIM content, people. And of course, I'm not getting more detail as this is just an orientation program and not actual class. So once all of this is done, people, once we have gone through the GLIM content, we will practice the MCQs also in the class. So what we will do is just like this, we will be sharing an MCQ link with you. I'll just show you. So there will be an MCQ link that will be shared in the group like this. You will get, let's say there are 45 questions in this, you will get 45 minutes to answer it right in the class. Not after the class, in the class, so that you get habitual and you get consistent to do it in the class. Otherwise, what happens is you will have it and you will not do it. So you will have to do the MCQs right in the class. And once you have done it, all these MCQs will also be discussed. All these MCQs will also be discussed because a lot of time it's a wild guess. A lot of times we may have understood something, but the concept is actually asking something. So once this MCQs is done, you will also get something like a scorecard, people. So if you see, there will be a scorecard how you will get, and not just that, you will, for each MCQs there will be an explanation, and this will all will be discussed in the class. So all MCQs will be discussed in the class, whatever will be practiced in the class. So and these are not just GLIM MCQs, these are MCQs or beyond GLIM also. So 30 to 50 MCQs for each unit is what we practice. So roughly, let's take an average, even 30 for 8 chapters, we'll practice more than 250 plus almost 40-50 questions on the side. So 300 plus MCQs we will practice for each part right in the class itself. All right, so that's the level of effort that goes in the class. People, not just that. So we have understood the concept from the slide. We have practiced the question during the discussion on the slides. We have practiced the question via Google form, and we have practiced them, and then we have discussed them. After this, we will have things to remember section. So we'll wrap up this session with this kind of a things to remember. Like for example, what is the purpose of implement activity? The keyword is add value here. Implementation standard, what does it happen? It extends on other category of standards. People, provision of code of ethics are applicable to whom? CIAs, CAEs, CFOs, or every employer. So things like that we are going to understand, which is very, very important from an examination question standpoint of view. So this is very, very important section. So people, that's the approach that we are going to do in terms of the entire content coverage, and all of this will be recorded and will be used for your next portion of session. Um, so this is all in terms of our approach, and of course we'll have a lot of Q&A. So this is how the approach works. People, now just to before we take up the additional Q&A, I would request you all another couple of minutes to understand that as you all know, there is a new global audit standard that has already been published last year in 2024, and now it is going to be applicable from 2025. So which is just right after a couple of weeks, it is going to be started. So people, what is in it? Like, how many of you know about global audit standards? Can I see it on the chat box? Aware, not aware, just know that this it's changing. What is your awareness level at global insurance? Anyone who know that anything on the global audit standards, like what is it, how is it different from the existing one? Anyone from the batch, have you taken any of the session on the global audit standards so far? Like, or you have studied by yourself? Anyone who have studied? I think Taiwo is saying aware, and then we have Barka also saying being aware. Other than that, other folks, are you aware about the global audit standards? The answer is most of you are saying it's not, no, no, right? So people, let me just enlighten you. People, again, starting May 2025. From 1st May 2025, CIH syllabus is changing, right? So this is your last opportunity to probably clear in the old format. And again, it also goes this way that, okay, if you have cleared part one or part two or any of the part, in the new syllabus, you have to only give the remaining part. The new audit standard, people, is structurally slightly different. So um, conceptually, if you ask me, conceptually, Arpit, conceptually, uh, is the new global audit standards like something absolutely new and will need a significant amount of effort to understand that? The answer to it is probably no, because conceptually things are same. It has added a lot of clarity, I would say, which any which way someone would have got it while doing the sessions. And the structure has slightly got different. So earlier in IPPF, we used to have like various type of standard attribute, performance, interpretation, implementation, things like that. But now the new global audit standards has been spread across 5 domains, 15 principles, 52 standards. So we have 5 domains: purpose of employment, ethics and professionalism, governing of the employment function, management of the employment function, performing the audit services. And within this, we have 15 principles, and then we have 52 standards. But standards are almost the same standards that we will study in the old syllabus. So standards like, for example, due professional care, competency, for example, standards like engagement planning, to analysis, to supervision, to work paper, to documentation, to communicating results, all the standards is almost similar to the standards of what we will study in the old syllabus. So what I'm trying to say, conceptually, the concept stays same. Structurally, in terms of the flow, there is a minor change which will not need a very heavy incremental effort, and that will be almost in the same fashion. Are we clear on it? Is the incremental effort above, like, let's say 10-15% what I said, or it's a significant incremental effort that we are seeing in terms of the changes, or is it a manageable effort? What is it said? Significant effort, manageable effort, people, when we are saying when the course changes, that is a significant effort we are talking about in terms of the structure, or we are talking about a manageable effort to an extent of 10-15%. What is it, people? Can I see it on the chat box? Are you all with me? Can I quickly see the word yes? It's a manageable effort. So all those people, like a lot of you may be thinking that, okay, should we do it now? Should we do it after May? I mean, as I said, it's completely up to you, because still it is slightly subjective. While it has already been announced almost a year back that, okay, the course is going to change from May 25. um, there is some portion of chances that it will I mean, I'm not saying there is any portion of, okay, let me say this way, there's no portion of chance that it will not change. It will change. Think it from a point of view, it will change from May 2025. But as I said, the concepts, people, the concepts that you're going to learn is going to be intact. The fundamental principle that, let's say, QIP has to be done once in 5 years externally, once in every year internally. Internally, we can do an internal assessment as well as periodic self-evaluation. Externally, we can do a full external assessor or self-assessment supported with independent. So these are some concepts. I know a lot of you would not know it, but these concepts are same as it is in the new standards. As I said, structurally, it is different. It has added some more clarity as compared to the existing one, but conceptually it's almost the same. Are we clear? And here, what we are learning, people, CIE exam is all about what? A CIE exam is all about what? Is it about memorizing? Is it about learning the MCQs answers of the GLIM? Or is it about conceptual clarity? What do you think, people? What did we learn now? CIE exam is all about memorizing? Is it all about learning GLIM options and answers, MCQs? Or this is a conceptual clarity exam? This is all about conceptual exam. All right, people. So you don't have to worry. I mean, in fact, you will say, oh, this is I'm okay, this is I'm okay, this is I'm okay. I've recently done two sessions for IIA on the IIA IIA I'll just cover that question, Barkha. Don't worry. So I've just completed just one session series on a 16 hours on a new global audit standards. I think on Thursday evening itself. And trust me, people who have done CIAs, it was a refresher. But in terms of concept clarity, it is almost the same. It's just that it has added a lot of clarity that we always get already people who are CIAs and who've gone through the course that way. All right. So Barka is asking if we can plan for part one in Feb, do we need to prepare as per new standards or old standards? So for Feb, it will be as per the old, so existing IPPF Barka. Does that help you? Till 30th of April, everything goes in a existing mode. From 1st of May, it goes um, into a new syllabus mode. Is that clear, Barka? Does that helps? Yes or no? Now let me ask you people. Before I jump into the next slide, let me ask you people, how many of you, after seeing today's session, are actually excited to do something like this? Does this kind of a course excite you and you think that this will add value to you? Do you think this will add value to you people? What do you think people? Do you really think that it will add value to you, your team members? The answer is yes or no. The answer is yes. And how many of you are actually feel that you have been thinking for a long time to do something like this, but because of your office commitments, because of your personal commitments, because of so many things in your life going on, you have not been able to do it for a long time. How many of you would agree to that? Do you agree, disagree? Folks on the chat, please. Do you agree, disagree? Because of my office commitment, sorry, I have always working, so I can't do. I am traveling, so I can't do. I have a family function, so I can't do. This happens, this keep happening, right? In every one's of us, like as I said, people, this will keep happening. Today, at whatever stage you are in, 5 years down the line, whatever stage you are in, this will always happen. I run a full-fledged consulting firm, probably a I single-handedly handle almost like a 42 members team, right? Despite that, and I'm not provoking too much of myself, but I'm just trying to give some stint of uh, message to you that it is doable. If you think that you want to do it, it is doable. I have pursued all the certifications. Only it happened because I paid for it. I'll be very honest, only because I paid for my examination fee on day one, I was able to appear for it. And every time I was thinking that every time, let's take an example. When I said 6 months period, and I'll share my journey with you all people, and I'm sure all of you must be better planned, everyone. But let me put it this way, people, whenever I paid for my examination fee, and if it was valid for 6 months, I have always appeared on the last day of that 6 month. I've never appeared on the first month, second month, third month, fourth month, fifth month. I was only able to appear on the 6 month or after the date I've taken. And just to, I mean, I'll tell you a recent story. I am also under the process of pursuing CPA course. And what I did was I took a date, right? I have to appear on this date. And the same date, even there was an audit committee. And now what happened is I'm still thinking, okay, should I do it? Should I not do it? Once you have your dates, when you have made that money payment, right, you will automatically work on it. And that's the key message that I would like to say. People, a lot of us will sometimes enroll for these courses, but never appear for it. So one thing I'm just going to come on that, Burker. Next slide is all about the thought process on clearing this exam. So I'll just cover on the next slide. But all I'm trying to say, until and unless you pay, you will not clear this. Until and unless you pay, you will not appear for this. Until and unless you pay, you will and take your examination dates, you will not go and appear. You will keep studying, you'll keep studying and keep studying and keep studying. in your class 10 standard, in your class 12 standard, in your CA exams, intermediate, inter, BCom paper, you always had a date, right? And on that date, in the morning, also, most of us, I mean, saying I'm not talking about the toppers here, but 80% of us who are non toppers, do you all agree with me? On the morning day, also, we are just flipping up the pages. Yes or no, everyone? Yes, everyone in the morning we are flipping up the pages and we go and appear for the exam. Yes, we go and appear. Do we clear the exam? Are we graduates? Yes or no? Yes, we are graduates, right? We are passed out students. Until and unless you will take your exam dates, you will never be able to become CIA. And that's where people, this course is all about. See, all of your, many of you have a working knowledge. If you self study it, it's not that you can't do it. All right. The only difference between doing a class versus not doing a class, and that's also complete your choice, is with doing the class, it gives you consistency, it's you complete clarity because of the busy schedule that you already have. It gets very, very difficult for anyone to kind of look at, okay, what I'm going to learn. In fact, what we are doing today in orientation program, the way you have probably seen everything from an insight from the last 1 hour, 20 minutes of time. If you would have done your independent research, I'm telling you, this would have taken 2 days, and still you would have not got a clarity. So this orientation program does that gives you clarity? Does that saves you some time, people, of what you have spent the time of about 1 hour, 15 minutes with me already? Yes. So what I'm talking about it in terms when you do class one, of course it will give you a lot of clarity. You know what to focus on, and you will actually understand the concept the way concept needs to tell you. Because when once you start reading it, I'm telling you, people, this course is this words are so common, like the word governance. As I said, we listen day in day out, but we will not never know the fundamental meaning. Like, can we accept the risk or not? Now, some of you say we can accept the risk. Some of you say no, we cannot accept the risk. We'll have to put the control. How can we accept the risk? Because we have never understood that. But accepting the risk is one of the risk response. And examiner is going to ask you something like that. Is accepting the risk is a true statement, false statement? Half of you will say accepting the risk is a false statement. I cannot accept the risk. But the right answer is accepting the risk is a true statement. You can just accept the risk. So what I'm trying to say is the concept clarity is very, very important. With the classes, you get the concept clarity. You know what to focus on. You get the handmade slides, right? That what I need to focus on, what are the keywords, plus understanding concept, plus understanding the real-time example, plus understanding what is also going in the word. Because as I said, with global professional certifications, me being one of the mentor for CIA, me being the key mentor for the CIA program, people, for me, it's all about value add. For me, it's about if you're spending 3 hours with me, it has to be in your mind. For me, it has to be that you should be successful. For me, it's not just that. What are the recent practices going on the market? Please add it. Please add to your profile, add to your service lines, and build it. And the whole idea is to build this fraternity such a way. This is our responsibility to take it forward, right? Whatever our seniors have done is done. This is now our responsibility to take it to the next level, and that's where this excites me to share it, and that's where it comes in. So now after all of this, people, do you think, are you still excited and you want to learn this and you want to clear this faster? You want to clear your CIE exams faster? Of course, this was 7:30 in the morning. Arpit, you have asked me to start. This is the winter going on, some of us in North India, and we have been asked to probably start at 7:30 in the cold winter morning. Do you want to really clear this exam? And people, this is where now we are coming up with the next slide, which is very, very important in terms of how we are thinking about this course. People, this is the schedule of the course, and this is where we are talking about how this is about the course. Sorry, I'll just take a pause here. I think there's some difference. All right, just 1 second. Um, all right, so I'll be talking about first this. So people, schedule of the class. So the way we are thinking is, since the course is changing now, the next 3 months or 4 months are going to be overly critical. And I am proposing for few days commitment from your end. I am proposing for a few days commitment, and I know some of you would still have a lot of commitments, and you will have to prioritize this. As I said, it's all about prioritizing. So if you really want to do it, you will have to prioritize it. You will always have work commitments. You will always have personal commitments. But once you make up your mind that okay, I have to do it, and I'll crack this, just like a New Year resolution we do, right? If we will do it and we will crack it. This is my proposal to you all, people. Enroll for the course. Part one, we'll do it in 7 day session. We'll do a morning session, we'll do a evening session. 7 days, we'll do a thorough session, and I'll not skip even one word. Every PPT slides will be discussed with you, MCQs will be discussed with you, film content will be shown to you. You have to just revise and you have to be consistent for a month. We will start on 4th of January 2025. We will end the batch on 25 January 2025. We will do MCQs during the course next few days. And I would request you to take a date by the end of 31st Jan. So you already know your batch is going to complete on 25th Jan 2025. You take a pre-hand date between 26th to 31st Jan, and 25th Jan, I'll do it. I'll take a 2 days revision. Maybe let's say 26th of January is my um, Republic Day. I'll take a 2 days revision, and I can tell you the kind of slides that will be shared you. You can revise the whole course in 6 hours of time, not even 6 hours. The kind of slides, and I'll show you those slides also. Don't worry about that. You will complete the course revision in not more than 6 hours, and then you can just appear for the exam. I'm not assuring 100% guarantee. I'll repeat that. Is global professional certification assuring 100% guarantee? I am not selling from a wrong perspective, people. Just like other institute, I'll not be confirming you 100. Are we guaranteeing you 100% pass out, people? Is global professional certification guaranteeing you 100% pass out? Can you all please write on the chat box? Yes or no? The answer is yes or no. The answer is clearly no, people. This is not in my hand. This is not in my hand. I cannot assure you 100% guarantee. Just like due professional care. Everyone, can we give guarantee to the audit committee that everything that we have covered in audit is correct? Can we guarantee to the audit committee? Can we give absolute assurance? The answer is no. We can only give reasonable assurance. We can take due professional care in our approach, right? This is exactly is what I'm talking about. We will do a thorough study for the next 7 days, morning batch, evening batch. I wanted to keep it more consistently, but I think it will be a little exhaustive. We'll do a morning batch. We'll touch base in the evening. Saturday, Sunday, we'll study. In 7 days, we'll through be a part one. And the last week will appear for the exam, and I'm telling you, will see flying colors. We have done it for challenge exam, people. We close up a batch on 15th of November. On 27th of November, we had 11 pass outs. 11 people pass outs out of 13 people appearing for the exam. 11 people pass out, including all the CIA for the CIA challenge exam. This is what we have done for IIM Bombay just recently in the November month batch. So this is exact proposal to you all. And I'm telling you, if you'll take more time, let me tell you, let me be very, very honest. If you'll take more time, let's say you say that, okay, sir, you're talking about 25th January 2025, and you're asking us to appear maybe immediately after 3, 4 days. I need some time for self study. You take time for self study. You take 2 months. I'm telling you, your confidence level will go down. It will never increase. It will never ever increase, people. It will never ever increase with time. You will only lose the confidence on your concept. If you are consistent, then only you will be able to appear for your exam. Otherwise, you will never ever be able. Your commitments will keep coming. Your confidence will keep going down. So your commitments will keep increasing, and your confidence will keep going down if you have not appeared for the exam on time, because you will start losing the concept, right? So that's the reason why we want to do things with urgency, and we want to start this batch from 4th January, and we want to wrap this on sharp on time on 25th January 2025. My proposal is go and appear the exam by end of January. I'm telling you, you will see it with flying colors. Most of most of you. Similarly, part two, we'll start in the first week of Feb. We'll close it in 23rd of Feb. Similarly, part three, we will have 1st of March, close it on 23rd March. Now, a lot of you would say, okay, why do you want to close it on 23rd March? Why not end of March? Why not first week of April? People, because there is an opportunity to reappear for the exam in the old syllabus. So generally, we have a 30 days cooling period after once a person doesn't clear the exam. So one can reappear for the exam within 30 days time. So let's take an example. You are appearing by end of March. In case by God forbid, if we are not able to clear it, we can appear by 30th April within the old syllabus. So that's the level of commitment I am ready to make for you all over the weekends. But are you ready to take up the commitments? It's something that you will have to talk about it, and you will have to take it. You will have to think through that this is the level of commitment are you ready to make, or you are not ready to make. But I'm sure people who are ready to make, you will definitely feel a lot of value add. And this is the shortest time wherein you can clear this exam, even in a part wise model. Otherwise, generally, it's a challenge exam, which is too much of a content. And if you fail, you will have to repay the whole exam fee. So this is almost like a part-wise exam, getting into a challenge mode wherein you can take your dates, you can commit up similar hours, and in case one of the part doesn't get cleared,
after 30 days you can always appear it together because your concepts are so intact. You're just in the flow. In the flow you will get through everything. If you will take 1.5 year, you want to do this course in 1.5 year period, you do it, people. I'm telling you, I've seen so many people clear part one, never done part two, clear part one, part two, never done part three, even close to expiration to the syllabus 3 years has been done. I'm just asking you 3 months, 3.5 months of your commitment. And if you walk the, if let's walk the doors, and let's walk the path together, people. And I'm telling you, this is going to be a very fruitful journey. For sure, in terms of your aspirations to becoming a CIE and a better professional, for sure. So, how many of you do you think is in terms of commitment? Radhika is asking, do we need to attend both morning and evening session or any one if sufficient? Radhika, both the session. Because both the session would be important. But let's take an example. If you skip one of the session, you can always look at the recordings, right? So all the recordings would be 100% available. So people, I know a lot of you say will think that, okay, I have a weekend working, Saturday is my working day. So again, you can always look at the recordings. We know people who have completed each part in 15 days. But it's all that, okay, let's say I could not attend the morning session because I had a office time. Okay, it's okay. You will have access to it on the LMS. You can just look at the recordings and come up to speed. If let's say you have skipped the whole batch, let's say if you've skipped the whole batch because of something else that's coming, you can always look at the recording. And very, very important thing, people, and this is again a cherry on the cake, and I'm telling you, a lot of people don't commit for this. But again, another important thing that we are talking about, another very important thing is what happens, sir? What happens, sir, if we fail? If we fail and we, let's say in April also appear, I was not able to clear. Are you going to still help us in the new syllabus? The answer to all of it is yes, people. We are going to help you throughout your journey in terms of getting this certification. Not just this, the global profession certifications will come up with a lot of new ideas to help you keep upskilling also later on also. But for now, it's as we have just launched a week back. Um, um, that's also okay, Baka. We can discuss it one by one, but just give me a couple of seconds. So there will be a fully commitment to you. Only thing that I want to give you upsting, I want to let you all know is that access to Glim content is limited to 18 months time. The cost is for 18 months. So if you would request that, okay, our access to Glim content can be increased for another 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, 9 months, 12 months, it comes with additional cost. In terms of our course support, wherein there will be a lot of sessions that will be happening on frequent basis. Like this is the first time batch we are announcing. After in May, we'll again come up with live batches. Then once we complete each batch, we'll come with new batches. We'll come with new batches as soon as new batches will come up. Even if you paid for it and you were not able to attend it, you can always attend in the new batch also. You want to upskill yourself and you want to just attend it, you can always place a request, you can just attend it also. See, it's all about how it can add value to your life, right? How you can keep upskilling. But at the same time, it's not that, okay, I was not able to clear, it was an old syllabus cost, I will not, I now for a new syllabus I need to pay additional cost. Only if, let's say, there is a course content fee. As I said, it's all about cost of the Glim content. If the course content fee is changing, let's say if tomorrow Glim has changed a content fee, or Glim is requesting for an additional content fee, only to that extent of cost that is going to be beared by global professional certifications will be passed on to the students. Other than that, all other costs in terms of the all other costs will not be additionally charged, only to the extent of additional content. Let's say you need additional book, additional content, additional access, all of that would be, of course, on a cost model thing, wherein it will be passed on to you and it will be discussed with you. Otherwise, everything is going to be a support till the time you get this certificate. Are we getting the complete clarity in time in kind of the support that we are ready to commit? Are we getting the kind of clarity that support we are getting to commit? People, is it clear, not clear? People, is it clear or not clear? Can I see it on the chat box, everyone? Clear, not clear? Barka is asking, can we go it part wise? I'm having working travels in March for 2 months that I cannot avoid. Of course, Barka, you can do it. As I said, see, you want to go for part wise, you can go for part wise. You can do for part one and look at the recordings, part two. Even when you're traveling, as I said, you can look at the recordings, and as soon as you are in India, just take a weekend off and go and appear. It's all the sense of urgency that you have to build inside you to clear this exam. Each one of us, if we don't do things with urgency and if we keep keep procrastinating, right? The word procrastination is all for that, right? If we keep procrastinating, we'll never be able to achieve it. So if we want, if even in your travels, let's say if during your travel also you can't commit, then of course you can do the remaining two parts in the new syllabus also. So it's something that you need to see that, okay, how I need to plan, how I need to commit, and how I need to clear. For us, if you attend the live sessions, best. I in fact would encourage everyone to join live session. If you're not able to it, like recordings are very well there for you to be there. Let's say you are not being able to attend. Again, as I said, something has happened. I was not able to do it. My role got changed. I was traveling. There's a family emergency crisis, something like that. That God forbidden has happened. What we can do is you have the record. You can future in future you can attend anytime a live session. So it's all on you on how you take it. But my sincere request and commitment is commit for the course, pay for the course, pay for your examination fee, take your examination date. Once you do it, I mean, I'm telling you, even if I say that, okay, I mean, anyone in your circle will say, okay, let's go out, or let's not do this, let's do this. I'm telling you, once you have paid for it, you will be fully committed for it. Which part of the CIA will have more changes with regard to the new syllabus? Pooja, as I said, conceptually, it's all going to almost going to be the same because underlying comments, underlying facts are same. But if you look at it, part one and part two both, because part one and part two is all about the standards, and here we are talking about the change of standards. When I talk about change of standards, as I said, Pooja, this is all about a structural change. Earlier, we used to call it in the IPPF attribute, performance, interpretation, implementation. Now we call it the domains, the principles, and the standards. So earlier we used to have four mandatory guidance: definition, core principles, standards, and code of ethics. Now we call it domains, principles, and code of ethics. Domains, principles, and standards. Conceptually, it's same. Code of ethics, it's almost same. Standards, underlying concepts are same. Are you getting me? It's only the structural change. So even after change of syllabus, it's not that, as I said, it's not going to be a significant effort for you to learn in the new syllabus. Are we clear on this? Yes or no? Yes. Are we clear on this? Yes or no, people? Can I see yes on the chat box? Everyone. All right, great. So I'll move on to the last slide, people, before we clock on the today's orientation program, before we wrap up the today's orientation program. Now I want to talk about a little bit in terms of the course fee. People, if you go and online buy a Glim content that, okay, I want to do a self-study. Minimum content fee for Glim content is somewhere about $660. And this is similar fee for any other course content. So if you buy a IA content, probably in the similar range, you will find not too much of a difference. Glim content alone costs you $660, which is 56,100 rupees. And if you look for a video lectures, which will be a completely recorded video lectures, it will cost you somewhere $874, which will cost you 74,290 plus some currency conversion cost. That's what you pay to Glim, and then you are on your own. So you don't like you get the access, and you want it's a 18 month valid access, and whatever you want to do you can do it. There is no push, there's no live class as such, there's nothing. It's all on you. Now, as I said, there's a tri-party arrangement between Global Professional Certifications, IIA, and Glim, which is where we help you with the Glim content, plus the whole session and the package that I've been talking about: slides, MCQs additional to Glim, access to LMS, live classes, support till you clear the certification, um, all of that. People, the entire package today, what the global professional certifications have come up with, the cost is 65,000 plus GST. And mark me, people, this 65,000 plus GST is not including your other fees. So please evaluate, people, that there is a cost of CIA, which is this one. The one you have seen earlier, the application fee of $90, and then the part one, part two, part three fees, and the membership fee. These are all separate. This is not in the 65,000. 65,000 is the institute fee. All that is the institute fee that goes to IIA, IA Global, all of that. The cost of entire package of what global professional certifications will do is the CIA material, the LMS, the lectures, the live sessions, the MCQs, help you and support you learning. Everything will be get covered, and the whole package for all three parts is going to be 65,000 plus GST. People, we are coming up with inaugural discount, which is the first time we are launching this up for you, and it's going to be significantly lower, and this is going to be 50, almost 50,000. I mean, that's the way it has been written, 49,999, but think it that it's going to be 50,000 plus GST, all three parts. And this is, while it's mentioned valid till today, but it will take about a week wherein we will have this inaugural discount going on. And people, again, If you want to go for each part, then this will cost you roughly about a 20,000 plus GST for each part. So, Barka, if you said that you want to do only part one like that, so it's going to cost somewhere 20,000 plus GST is how it's going to be structured. One thing I want to give you a caveat, people, that reappearing cost is almost 18,000. All right, so cost of reappearing each part is almost 18,000. So it's always better to be prepared and then go, because I've seen so many people thinking that okay, they will appear it themselves and they've appeared three attempts already. For each part, like part one, they have already given two, three times. They're not able to clear. Now they're enrolling. So you've already wasted some 54,000 already, right? So my suggestion is choose that option wisely, whether you want to do it yourself or you want to do it under guidance. It's completely your choice. As I said, you want to do it yourself, you can do it. It's not that you can't do it. It's just that you have to be a little bit more disciplined to yourself. You have to be consistent to yourself. You will have to figure out, and you should have that level of time and bandwidth to figure out things, right? But under guidance, it generally becomes more easy. But as I said, the cost of reappearing fee is almost like 18,000 rupees versus a cost for preparation of the whole with the content, everything goes to almost 20,000 plus GST. So it's always better to do it and then appear, which gives you much better chance to clear the exam. So that's in terms of the course fee, people. And this is a learning partner certification that we've got from the CEO of IA India. Before we wrap up for the final slide, or before we wrap up, I have a quick testimonial that I would like to show you, people. And after that, of course, we can discuss on any of the questions. So I'll take your couple of minutes here, and please watch out this video, everyone. That covers a lot of efforts that have come up and really encouraging words. All right, people, thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate your time and very excited to talk about this. Um, uh, Please feel free to ask any question. That's all from my side for this orientation program. Thank you so much once again for joining this, and wish you all a very happy holidays coming in. Merry Christmas in advance. Happy New Year in advance. Have a very good year ahead. And any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, we are good to go for today. Are we good to go for today? All right. Thank you, everyone, once again for joining in the Session C orientation program for the CIA. Looking forward to meet you all more often. Thank you so much once again. All the best in whatever you're doing. Good luck.